Now, your Weather Authority forecast from Chief Meteorologist Bruce Katz.
Well, today was a nice day. It was hot, but the humidity not quite as bad. Tonight, we're seeing partly cloudy skies up top, and tonight we have got a blue supermoon. And with that supermoon, where it is closest to the Earth's orbit, thanks to Dave McNamara, our Heart of Louisiana reporter, taking this shot for us here, and also Jay Weiss over in Metairie. Check this out. You can see, I mean, look how big the moon looks here. This is the Lakeway Tower right at the foot of the causeway, so tonight you may want to go grab a peek. All right, big changes on the way. We talked about lower humidity, and yes, it is on the way. As dry air moves in, overnight lows, especially North Shore, not tonight, but tomorrow night and also Wednesday, we may see some upper 60s, some mid-70s south. That'll be cooler than the 80s we've seen, and it makes for a much better feeling heat index where you just don't sweat it out. Here's that moisture moving south. Dry air moving in from the north. So for Wednesday into Thursday and part of Friday, we see that. But on Friday into the weekend, we lose it. It just doesn't last that long this time of year. But hey, any day or two or three we can get with low humidity, let's take it. Right on this boundary, we're going to be watching potentially a little wave moving off to the west. And I think starting late Friday into the weekend, our rain chances will begin to ramp up. But really throughout the week until at least Thursday night, Friday, I don't really see much rain at all. Current dew points coming in from the north and east. Look at the 60s here, 71 Macomb. We're still up there at 77, but once we get a little more push over the next 12 to 24 hours, humidity will be coming down. And look at this. Remember heat index readings, we were at 110, 115. Over the next several days, we may flirt with 100, which is very normal for this time of year, where the normal high is about 91. So what about the muggy meter? I love it when we can bring it down to not so bad in late August. We're talking Tuesday into Wednesday and Thursday. Friday, it starts coming up a bit, especially into your upcoming weekend. High pressure off to the west, hottest temperatures here, but notice off to the east, we're seeing more of that northerly and northwesterly flow now, and that will be ushering in some of that dry air. Highs today, it was hot, but it could have been worse. 100 a year ago back in 2023, the record. Today, we hit 93. As mentioned, we should be at 91, so 1 or 2 degrees above average. Not that bad. 95 over in Slidell and Bogalusa. Right now, still in the 80s around the region, thanks to the warm waters in that northwest flow off a lake in the mid to upper 80s. That water's like bath water. It does feel like 90 at the lakefront. 86 Kenner, down the bayou in Houma to Galliano at 83, 84 Bay St. Louis, and right along the coast, Grand Isle at 87. So the temperature change, a few degrees cooler, it's nice. 3 to 4 degrees, nice when you can bring down those temperatures, and the dew points beginning to come down from the northwest, although still muggy here. Some of this yellow in the upper 60s to lower 70s will be moving through in the next 24 hours. Dew point change as well. When you bring down the dew point temperature, that brings down the humidity and the feels like temperature, where right now 2, 3, up to 5 to 6 to 7 degrees lower on the dew point. That's a welcome change with that very dry northerly flow moving in, once again at 5 to 10. Well, here's your Fox 8 forecast model. Notice the winds. They begin to shift out of the northeast. Dry conditions here, low humidity will take you through tomorrow afternoon. Temperature-wise at about 94, but lower humidity makes it feel more tolerable. And then Wednesday morning, we're talking upper 60s North Shore, low to mid 70s south. And during the day on Wednesday, yes, back to the 90s, but still low humidity continuing to filter in. And then on Thursday night into Friday, we begin to see some of that moisture developing from the east. And with that moisture, we're going to watch the Gulf of Mexico for a little wave that may bring in some rain on the tail end of that front by late week and weekend. Good news out there, that is Ernesto. Ernesto, it is now basically out of here. Good news. And over the next 7 to 10 days, as of right now, a couple of waves, but really no development coming in. It would be fantastic to round out August with no tropical development. Boy, that would be a really, really big win for us. Well, tomorrow, 94, humidity coming down into Wednesday at 94. Thursday, a bit more humid. And then on Friday, rain chances coming back into the weekend at about 40%. Not a washout, but temperatures actually not that bad. We're talking lower 90s, not the upper 90s. And those overnight lows, 60s north and 70s south. Heading offshore right now, seas at 1 to 2 feet. And over the next few days, we're going to continue to see that northeasterly flow, 8 to 15 at 1 to 2. So lower humidity this time of year. Who's complaining?
I mean, I'm not complaining.
It's perfect.
When I see you with the muggy meter out, and then it's just like,
Not so bad.
love it.
Late August, that's a welcome treat.
It was because it was brutal this weekend.
Yesterday was brutal. At my home, I have I have my sensors and my whole thing up there. At one point in Metairie, it read 118 on the heat index.
Stop.
Yesterday was
Seriously,
brutal.
I told you, we were both in the park at the
We
same
sure
time.
were yesterday. But he's a runner, I'm a walker. That's the
Actually, I ran right by her. I didn't even see
and
her.
I was like, oh.
So Lee was sweating more than you.
Yes.
No,
Oh,
he
no,
was.
I was drenched.
I let Lee do
Thank
his
you.
thing. I was reading a book, and people think it's crazy that I read books while walking, but yeah,
Really?
that's a
That's
whole
as bad
other
as
story.
texting and walking.
No,
Remember
but
people
it's
walking to
not.
fountains
I have
and-
really good peripheral vision.
Okay.
Okay.
so.
I saw you. That's how I saw you.
I didn't see you. All right.
All right.